Welcome, everybody, to Saves Together, a podcast about playing games together, whether that means co-op or passing the controller back and forth or just playing the same game at the same time. It doesn't matter how, it only matters that it's together because...
when you save together, you stay together.
Hey, this is episode 15. I'm getting good at remembering what episode it is, and the topic for today is pit people. But before we get to that, I'm Craig McGowan, and that is my lovely co-host.
Say it again.
That is my lovely co-host.
Grace Novak.
How you doing?
I'm chill.
I'm glad. What have you been playing?
I've been playing the same game, basically, and also Pokemon Go. Trails of Cold Steel 2.
First of all, we'll unpack the you're playing Pokemon Go thing a little later.
There's nothing to unpack, Craig. There's nothing.
We're going to unpack how you swore up and down.
No, I didn't swear up and down. He doesn't understand that my phone has 8 gigabytes of pathetic memory and refuses to hold any app at the same time. It can only hold 4 apps.
Which 4 apps do you have currently?
Music, my phone, the text messaging, and Pokemon Go. It's all I can have now.
Nice. But it's worth it. That's a good life to live. No, but you said you're playing the same games, but I don't think you are.
One game. No, last time I started Trails of Cold Steel too.
Well.
As well.
What are you thinking? How are you finding it?
It's good.
Is it everything you expected and more?
It is actually that.
Really?
But it's also, I think it's mostly what I expected.
Is the more 3 of the same intro scenes?
No.
Huh.
What?
They played the same video like 4 times.
No, it was, well, twice. No. It was repeating on the title screen because I wasn't playing.
Then they went and played it again.
That's true, they did.
Like, hey, I've seen this already, guys. When you turn a game on for the first time, do you watch the title intro video?
Always.
Not the, start a new game, watch the thing. I mean, when you pop the disc
when it's an anime game like that, yeah. Not when it's, Super Smash... Actually, no. Definitely Super Smash Brothers. Well, that's different.
I can't think of a game where you wouldn't,
I don't know. That's a good
maybe,
question.
Madden, that's just because we're, you're just trying to get to the game and play for 5 seconds. You know?
Right. Well, did Go Vacation have one? Because we've also been playing Go Vacation recently.
Yeah.
I don't think we never paused on it long enough.
Right, but I feel like some games start you with one. You have to skip through it, whereas there's other that has the attract mode, which is it starts a thing when it's idling.
So you're talking about the one before the menu.
The one that automatically, if a game automatically plays a video.
I'll always watch that one.
Okay,
for sure.
Good to know.
Yeah,
says a lot about people, what they do on those.
What are you playing?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm
you just
waiting.
Gave me the saddest look.
Yeah, I'm sad. I'm waiting for Shenmue. I'm waiting for Divinity Original Sin 2, and I'm waiting for Spider-Man. So
you've got to stop saying it like that.
I can't help it. Everybody, it's a disease. Other than that, the standard stuff that I'm not going to repeat again, except for Pokemon
Gravity
Go.
Rush 2.
What?
Gravity Rush 2 as well.
Oh, right. Yeah, but I said that last time.
Yeah,
I put on easy.
He's still.
I haven't really had a chance to play. We went on vacation.
Yeah, we just came back from Ocean City, Maryland.
We played Rocket League. We played Go Vacation, which is, honestly, I couldn't ask for a better time to play.
It made sense.
And we played... That's it. Because the TV in the place we stayed at didn't have HDMI ports that worked. So,
yeah.
Screw you, place.
Right, we went down to Virginia, which is where I'm from, and had a little family vacation. And my brother recently just got Shovel Knight on the Switch. He was like, hey, Grace, have you ever played Shovel Knight? I was like, yeah, it's pretty fun. It's like, okay, I'm going to download it on my Switch. And then we found out later that night he and his girlfriend were playing co-op. And I was like, I had no clue that Shovel Knight, it was only on Switch. But it really makes me want to play it now and try it out. I had it on 3DS, but I never beat it. Because it is difficult, but it's fun. And I really liked it. So it would be really fun, I think, to try that on co-op.
I remember him mentioning, well, it's kind of hard because you can jump off each other and, bounce into each other.
Right, platforming. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works.
Yeah, but,
it kind of reminds me of something else we played that had those issues.
Most games.
No, but, I can already see what he's saying. It's almost like you're... Because in Shovel Knight, there's a lot of disappearing platforms. So if you're doing it, then how's the other person going to do it? Like bubbles or something.
Maybe there's a latch onto each other like the Yarny.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll find out.
Anyways, do you want to talk about pit people?
Let's do it.
Developed and published by the Behemoth, known for Alien Hominid and Castle Crashers.
Yeah, I played Castle Crashers. I was a big Castle Crasher fan in the day.
What is Castle Crashers?
It's like it's a 4-player co-op, 2D platformer and like beat 'em up style game. And me and my brother played it along with his friends, and it was a lot of fun. I remember really liking that game.
Did it have loot?
It did have loot,
We should
but
play
I
it.
don't know if it was the same kind of thing. It was a very long time ago.
On March 2nd, 2018, Pit People was released on Microsoft, Windows, and Xbox One, which, that's interesting. I didn't realize it wasn't on PlayStation.
Yeah.
We played it on Xbox. I mean, I think I realized. I'm not dumb. Like, I didn't, but I just forgot, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say the genre is?
Real-time strategy.
Turn-based.
Tower defense.
Turn-based strategy. It's not real time.
Oh, right. Real-time strategy is like LOL and Dota.
StarCraft.
Oh,
MOBAs.
LOL and Dota are
Those are
real-time.
MOBAs.
All right, whatever. There's too many genres. This is my problem with
I
genres.
love genres.
So it's a turn-based strategy kind of tower. No, it's not tower defense.
No, stop saying that.
It's like Fire Emblem.
Yeah. On a hex.
Fire Emblem genre game.
Hex grids. Your dude is touching on one of the hexes. You can attack.
Yeah,
thing.
you have a team.
And you have a team of guys, and we'll get into all that. We played the whole thing co-op, the whole story mode.
That's right. The whole thing is you can play co-op.
And how did we find out about this game? Why did we decide to play this? Besides you being kind of a Behemoth fan.
Yeah, but I hadn't heard of it until we went to the Tribeca Film Festival last year.
2017.
Right. And they had it set up, and they had like a whole video game thing. That's where we went and saw Kojima talk with Jeff. What's his name?
Keighley.
Jeff Keighley.
Of course. I mean, if you...
Right. If it's Kojima, Jeff's gonna be there. And so
Kojima. Huh? Kojima.
No,
Kojima?
that's not gonna work.
Kojili.
So we went for some panels, and they had some like games set up, a lot of VR stuff, but they also had the Behemoth guys there showing Pit People, and they had the joystick. They had like a whole kind of game panel they had for it.
They made like a fight stick for it.
Right.
And
with specific kinds of buttons and stuff.
Yeah. One thing that I thought was funny is they were very excited about their Y button. At the end of your turn,
It was like a lever.
to lock in your turn, you hold down the Y button on a normal controller.
Right.
But in this, they were like, yeah, we made this. It was like a lever, like you said,
Yeah.
like you pull it down to lock your turn in, which is a really cool mechanic, but like mechanic to story reason, like what it is doesn't correlate. Like why?
I mean, I think it
We're
was
not
a good
in-
way of getting people to come over and check it out because it's kind of like weird looking.
Right,
It's not like
yeah.
they were selling that afterwards.
No, I know,
for you
but
to
it's
play
just
it.
he was just like we want to do that. It seems
Yeah,
so cool.
he
But
was
it's like,
excited about it. He was cool.
It is very. It is a very cool thing, but it's just like it's not like we're in a robot suit where you like
Right.
you know.
People get excited about weird things when they make things.
I was excited about it. That's what drew me over there.
So we played, like, they gave us, like, a match, and we're like, oh, this is actually pretty fun, and so we were into it from that point
I
on.
would say it's more like I had a blast at that, and that'll
Yeah.
come back into my reactions
Right,
later.
right.
But so after that, we really liked it, and then we waited like almost a year
Really? Was that long? That was a couple
because
months.
it came out in March, and Tribeca Film Festival is like
Yeah,
April.
that's true.
So let's go down our list of co-op factors that we like to do. What type of co-op? Couch, online, split screen?
I think it's both online and couch. You can do it online.
Yeah, but we did same screen.
Yeah. And it's not split screen, just one screen.
Yeah, and it kind of zooms out. The further apart you are, it's zoomed out
Right.
more.
But we can also control that.
But you could control it for each other. So, like, if you
Right.
needed to see, there'd be some times where I think, if I'm remembering this right, where you'd be doing stuff up in the upper right corner, and I'm down in the lower left, and the camera's favoring you, and I'm like,
really? I don't remember
I
that.
can't see what I'm doing past the,
I don't remember that, but maybe.
I think,
I don't think we
vaguely
had too
remember
many
that.
problems with the zooming issues.
or maybe that's what it was. The zooming. This was not like the worst offense in the world. It just was like sometimes it's like I can't see, so I have to wait.
Right. Yeah. I mean, when we were definitely both trying to go, it was very confusing.
For another reason as well, which I'll just say now.
A lot of units on the map, too.
The two colors to signify your control, like your cursor and mine, are blue and blue. So I'm not sure what the decision was there. It was
Like a
light blue
dark-
and
yeah.
dark blue. And those don't stand out that much. I know maybe that sounds silly when you just hear me say it because like one's light, one's dark. But sometimes I was like, I can't, there's just too much blue. Because enemies are always red and good guys are always blue.
Right.
Except we're both good guys and we're both moving guys and it's a clusterfuck of stuff on things.
There's just a lot of information on the screen at
Yeah,
once.
we can discuss that later also. Shared loot or XP?
Shared XP.
I don't think
No.
shared loot.
Actually, the XP depends on how many guys your dude has killed. So if your dude kills a guy, then he gets XP. It's not really like...
Right, that's true. Yeah, your unit's kill doesn't get my units or even your other units anything.
We each have 5 units.
Well, you have 5. I think you have 6 slots.
Right. And some dudes take up 2 slots if they're big. And we
3.
have our own teams. And you can trade back and forth. And we do have our own loot, so it's not shared. But it's really easy to trade back and forth.
Yes, so it's shared literally. You have to share it. You have to say, here you go. Which I don't mind. That's if...
I mean, considering the loot didn't do very much, it's not like we were competitive about it. It's not like we were like, oh, I wanted that sword.
Yeah.
It was more like, hey, you want these butterfly wings? Sure.
Right. What we did share more often was units.
Right.
Like, okay, I want to be the troll mama and the snake mama.
Just to sort of find a way to better distribute and balance our team.
Yeah. Friendly fire. I don't think...
Nope.
Yes.
Well, the unicorn did. So it depends on the units.
Your range AoE enemies, or I mean, units.
No, just the unicorn, not like
Really?
the
Anyone who does
not
AoE.
like the arrow. There's only I think one that did AoE like that.
Well, that we've whatever. For us, it was the unicorn.
Yeah, the unicorn. They're okay. So if you've played a Behemoth game, they're very silly and like sort of lighthearted and
Very
out there. And
yeah.
also crude, like crude humor.
Crude, quirky,
But not offensive, really. At least not this one. I don't remember
offensive,
Castle
but like there's
Crashers.
like heads being bitten off and like
Right, but I'm saying not like
it's not
an issue.
right.
It's not like racist.
Oh, geez, I wouldn't play it. I wouldn't review it.
I'm just saying there are games out there
Right.
like, but the unicorn fires off its horn essentially and it lands somewhere on the map. And if it lands on an enemy, it blows up and it hurts them. But if it lands on not an enemy, then it can hurt your other dudes, your own dudes. But I don't know if I would.
Oh.
I mean, that's friendly fire in a very specific way.
Also, the fairies, my butterfly men, their AoE attack would do damage. It launched a fire.
Are you sure
attack.
about that?
Yeah,
I thought
because
it just
I was hurting myself, so I'm assuming I'm hurting you too.
Probably.
I think all AoE hurts everything in the AoE.
I want to say that I don't think so, but it doesn't really matter.
We should really figure that out if we're going to
I don't think it matters
sit
that
here.
much. Let's just say there
I
is
do think
friendly
it matters.
fire, and you should read the descriptions on your dudes before using them.
Here's why I think it matters. The strategy is key if you're going to...
I mean, I understand that it matters. I'm saying I don't think it matters in the form of, like, co-op factors, because the answer is yes, there is friendly fire, and you should, like,
Right.
pay attention to your units when you're forming your team.
Right. I was headed on a tangent of just... The strategy's not all there. You can't fully use strategy and tactics. It just turns into a mishmash of people.
Right. I think you want to, because all the units are really cool, and they do very different things, and there's a huge variety, but it's hard to strategize, like you're saying.
It's the one thing that I want changed about this game.
Because it's a clusterfuck. I think, like, the intent was there. It's just the execution seems off sometimes when it comes to these really big battles.
Let's just get it over now. The major issue is you don't pick who they attack.
I don't know if that's the issue as so much as they didn't accommodate for that game mechanic. Because I've played games with that. I mean, Yokai Watch, you can choose who they attack, can't you?
Regardless, that's not a turn-based strategy game on a grid. I would say the only ones of those I've ever played, you got to pick who are you attacking, and that leads to so much more strategery. Hate to use a word like that, and it just came out.
That's not a word.
I know that.
Strategy is the word you're looking for.
Whatever. It limits you so much because it's like, well, it doesn't matter because these two people are touching me. It literally will be, if your unit is touching 2 enemy units, it's just random. Whichever one your unit feels like attacking.
You get some sort of choice because it's wherever you put them. It's not like they go wherever they want. You put them in a place and you don't get to choose between 2, but if there's only 1 touching, then you choose. But a lot of the times it's very packed in, and that's not the case. The thing is, I really think, like, this is an interesting game mechanic and it could have worked. It's just like something else needed to be done to make it more fair. Because it did feel unfair. But I don't mind that as like a new kind. Because you're right, I've never played a turn-based strategy that's like this, but I don't mind it. I just think it didn't work here a lot of the time.
I agree with you, actually. Like, it was third grade soccer. I mean, like, everybody's
What?
just surrounded in a mass around the ball and there's no strategy. Like,
I don't have any relation to what you're
you didn't
saying.
play like soccer in gym class?
I mean,
And everyone just runs at the ball. It's like, yo, you guys need to fall, like, get in.
I don't have like these vivid memories.
Get in position. Like,
I was probably one of the ones just running towards
right.
the ball.
And so in this, it feels like everyone's just kind of running towards the ball.
That's true.
And can you just come back? Like,
we tried our best, and I think sometimes it worked, but a lot of the times it felt like it didn't really matter. Either we got like
because the enemies
killed.
would swarm in around.
Right.
So like we'd either waste our time backing up and losing units in the mass, or
I think at the end of the day we just decided with go forward together, and
Yep.
that's all we can do.
Okay, back to the factors. Separate mode or full, I already said, was the full story
You
mode.
can play it alone as well, though.
And can you just leave at any time? I think so.
I don't actually think you can. No, I think you can, actually. Because the thing is, it accounts for this. It rebalances the teams. So we have, I have 5 more slots because we're in co-op, but then the enemy will also have 5 more slots. So
Oh yeah, that's true. It does.
you can't like back out in the middle of a battle, but you
Yeah.
could back out on the main screen possibly.
Progression, things to unlock,
Yeah, I mean, things to unlock being actually, I don't
things
know.
to collect.
Yeah, there's things to collect. Like the enemy types are the most interesting things to collect.
Tons of things to collect.
Yeah.
Units, as well as accoutrement. And those accoutrements,
I'm like, do you have to be like this?
there's like, okay, I got a new sword, and this one's shaped like bacon. This one is shaped like a stop sign. This one is a chainsaw. But they all, if they're all in the certain class of weapon, they're all the same stats.
Most of the time. Sometimes it'll be like the fire sword adds burning damage.
But it didn't feel
But
like
not a lot.
a drastic change.
No, never.
So you end up collecting like hundreds, thousands of things.
And then you end up just choosing based on like what you like.
Yeah. And you're just like, well, your basic strategy for that is, do you want a big old helmet and a big old shield? A little baby helmet, a little baby shield? Like
Just depending
combinations.
on how far you want to move related to how much you want to attack and how
Yeah.
much damage or defense. I mean, like most typical RPGs in that way.
Right. So like the more armor, the less you can move.
Right.
So you're balancing between like, all right, I want the big sword, but the small shield, or maybe no shield. Maybe I want a net to capture guys. There's a slight Pokemon mechanic.
Well, yeah, because the only way you can get new units is at the end of each battle, whoever's the last one standing is
Enemy.
someone you can capture.
The last enemy.
Right. But you have to have a dude with a net, and you have to be able to like get around him, which
And-
isn't hard. But sometimes we would like be like, "Oh, we want to go for that guy," and then he would just die. Like we would accidentally
And
kill
he
him
dies because
it's hard to control
you can't
who's
control who's
dying.
attacking.
Right.
Yeah.
See, there is a point where that really didn't help. Like that should have been somewhat balanced, so we could have captured anyone even if they were dead. Like it should have been like at the end of the match, choose someone because clearly
Yeah.
this is not fair.
Like you have a gravedigger and a reanimator or something.
Yeah. Some other.
You
dumb
could build
thing.
in a lore the way this was
Yeah.
a net.
Right, because it none of it makes sense anyway.
Right. And you also have to purchase the net as well. You have to be carrying the net in your inventory. Have a net throwing guy.
No, you're not purchasing a net. You're purchasing a cage, a golden cage.
Right. Purchase the cage. Have
And
that in your
items.
inventory.
Yeah.
Have a guy who has the net, and don't kill the guy you're trying to capture.
Right. But at the end of the day, we ended up getting a lot of different kind of units, so it wasn't
A lot of
too
units.
much of a problem. Yeah, but we didn't try them all. I don't think
We definitely were
we
missing
beat the
some.
game, but we didn't try them all.
We beat the story mode.
Right.
There are probably, I want to say, 40 more missions.
Yeah, there were a lot of side quests, a ton, and they all have somewhat of a story. Like they wrote story for all those. I mean, for $15, like you got a lot of content in this game.
Definitely.
Worth your money
Very much worth your money if you have.
if you like the game.
That's
I mean,
my
at the end
thing.
of the day,
is
we're not going to keep playing. We just beat the story.
We beat the story. We beat some side missions. And we said, that's enough.
And it was a struggle a lot of the time. Are we into our experience yet?
Not yet.
kinda?
So I guess we should finish up this real quick. Interruptive actions. This is our new category we added very recently. Auto screen changes, warping the other player, etc.
I don't think there were any interruptive
And
actions.
you
I think
couldn't
the
even-
only interruptive action was the zooming of the map.
And the opposite of this is to leave the town and go out into the world map. You both have to be
You
there
both
and
have to
say,
be
"Here we
there."
go."
Yeah.
Which that's good. That's a
Right.
good thing to do. Difficulty of the co-op.
I don't know if it's more or less difficult to do this as co-op.
I feel it's more because
More chaotic.
it's mentally taxing because there's
Right.
double the enemies and double the units, so the battles are probably double the length.
And we do have to strategize in that, like, if I have 2 healer units, I have to send one with him because yeah, he controls only his 5, I control only my 5 slots. So that means we can't control each other's dudes. So we have to sort of, work together verbally to figure out what we're doing.
And back to the strategy's not there. You need to heal my guy. Well, guess what? Your healer's just going to pick whoever he wants. So you have to have 2 units pulled far enough away that they don't touch each other. Or like my guy, your healer can't be close to my other 2,
right.
So I got to make sure if I need you to absolutely be healing this one guy.
Right.
Which, I mean, in a way, that's strategy, but it's not fun strategy.
Right. It was just kind of stressful.
It's dealing with a hardship rather than like having a cool plan and executing.
Right.
Competitiveness of the co-op, I don't think there was a single time.
No. Oh, I mean, the only thing is they do score you at the end, but it's not a big deal. They say, like, who's the MVP unit?
Oh, yeah.
And, like, you have a bar that says, like, how many kills and how many deaths.
That's cool. You could turn that into some stuff. But it's not competitive, like, give me that.
Not that we, like, want to beat. No, not at all.
And then strategy and tactics, we've basically been covering that the whole time. So.
Right. Lots of strategy and tactics and also not.
So, yeah, there's tons of it, but not in the right way, I guess. So let's move into our experience. We basically already started.
Yeah.
What do you think of Pit People?
I think overall, I appreciated the game, and I'm glad we had it and played it. But I think there were a lot of times where it became a chore. Like halfway through a battle, where like we just want to be done. Like there was just some really frustrating battles, and the battles, which we'll talk about, that I'm saying, are super long sometimes. Most of the time, they are very long, like too long.
The defining factor for this game of why I have to say I don't love it, and it's hard for me to say I like it, is because the battles take too long. I would be almost falling asleep. Not because it's like boring, but like if we play after I get out of work and all right, let's do a level, the battle takes like 40 minutes, and some of it is downtime watching you finish your turn or watching the enemy take their turn, and it's kind of like not engaging because the visuals are so cluttered and chaotic on screen.
That's true.
We'll have screenshots up on Twitter just to kind of go give you an example.
And I think Behemoth is a little bit known for this kind of visual. It's the same visual like aesthetic, and Castle Crashers in a similar way, chaotic looking. But I think in a strategy game like this, it was a little like taxing to figure out what you're doing and who's attacking who. I don't know.
Who's attacking who?
Who's dying?
What?
I never know who's dying.
Yeah.
That was my big issue. So if we have like you were saying, we have healers. It's so hard for me to quickly figure out who's got low health. That's a big issue in a game like this.
And the world design, some things you're not supposed to be touching, and some things are just background.
You mean like when we're just like walking around the world?
Remember the vase? Yeah, no, like in the map. Remember the vases?
Oh yeah.
And like it was like, confusing. Oh, you got too close to the vase. Like eventually you figure it out, but because it's that Behemoth classic style, the hand-drawn, cartoony, which I like.
Yeah.
I like the art.
I liked it a lot.
But the background, what is interactable or whatever. There's a mission where a hole opens up in the middle of the battlefield, and you're supposed to all get parachutes and jump out the hole. Now, if I tell you this is a mission in a video game called get a parachute and jump out the hole, don't you think like, oh, I guess I have to get my unit to the edge of the hole maybe and jump? Like, it was
it wasn't very clear what we had to do.
And this didn't happen a lot, but it happened enough of just like, it's not clear what we're supposed to be doing. Or I think it was never really there was anything other than battle, but it made it seem like you were supposed to be doing other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Well, sometimes you were. There were some missions that were stealth.
Yeah, that
you went around
actually,
things.
that wasn't so bad.
No, I kind of liked the variety in maps.
Yeah.
But I think another reason the issue with the fact that the battles were too long is because they weren't more quickly satisfying. So it was too challenging to where I thought we were losing within 10 minutes. And so that's where I started to tune out because I'm like, remember, like halfway through, I'd be like, "We're just gonna lose."
Right.
I'd say it every time,
and then we wouldn't.
But then we would win. So so I think this is like for me a game issue because that means that the game isn't telling me like, "Hey, you're giving me a little piece of like of satisfactory like candy." I need something to keep going.
Right. Like maybe the solution is way more enemies with way less health.
Right.
So you're just mowing them down.
Right. Exactly.
Or I don't know because I played
it felt
XCOM.
like the enemies were it took too long to kill just one, and so it would take me too long to feel satisfied.
I played a lot of XCOM, not a ton, but I remember it'd be like you could get a headshot that gets them down to like either dead if you're a higher level or lower health. So you're like, ooh, just took that dude's health out.
In Fire Emblem, there are
Yeah.
the smaller units are really weak, like the first couple, and it just gives you a sense of like you're accomplishing something in the early part, because in Fire Emblem they are long battles too. Not as long, I don't think, but the point is, I just think there should have been some enemies that were just garbage, so we could have felt like, okay, we're clearing it out slowly.
Right.
But it took too long to get there.
Yeah. All the enemies have way too much health, and it just takes too long.
It makes you feel like you're losing the entire time.
How many times was it just, all right, hold Y, we're doing the same thing? You know what I mean? Like, all right, just reconnect. Like, the last turn I attacked this cupcake guy, then he moved away one space. Well, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to move one space and then attack him or not attack him, but, hope my guy attacks him and hold Y, I'm done. Like, there's probably 50% or more of the turns were just like, same thing.
Yeah.
Do the exact same thing or line up so you're doing the same thing.
I don't think 50%, not for me, but maybe for you. But then again, I had more like tactical dudes. I had like healers, and just depends what units you're working with also.
I enjoyed working with guys who shot out mobs of things.
Yeah.
The troll mama that's my favorite unit.
The troll mama and the snake
It takes 3 slots of your team, but it can shoot out randomly each turn one other baby troll that does its own thing. You don't have to control it, up to 4. But so all of a sudden there'd just be, I had like 10 units, because I had all my team plus I was using the snakes that would shoot out little baby parasite worms. So that's the kind of characters I like to play, like the Necromancer and Diablo, and like I like
with
summons.
A lot of like little units.
I love summons, and I love feeling like I'm telling them to go and I can just chill.
I think what I did like about this game definitely was just like the Behemoth style. I loved the goofiness. I thought the story was like fun and weird. I liked the variety in like battles there was some stealth puzzles. There were, the one you're talking about, the parachutes. There was one where you're trying to battle. Actually, I hated this one. Remember, you're battling the dude's the tongue, and then he kept coming out, and you're battling like a monster, but he kept moving, and you had to kill his tongue.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like that goes back to all right, just move back into the position we were in.
But yeah, I liked all the characters. I thought the variety of units was a lot of fun, like the troll mom and all the trolls and that stuff.
The healers are the cupcakes. They throw their frosting. They throw their own frosting at you to help you heal, which I think that's funny.
That is funny. There's a lot of funny stuff.
Good. I love the style of this game.
And the music is amazing.
The number one best part about the game, though, is the music.
We were constantly like bopping out to the music.
Patrick Catani did the soundtrack to it.
Yeah.
However, Patrick, as good as your music is, the best song was from Cormac, a producer. I think it's called "Wash Your Hands."
That's the one in the town.
That's the one in the town that makes all the buildings jump and dance, almost Cupheady, like you know what I mean, like that. Like,
yeah.
Like think about
we'll
like a
play
garden.
It also,
yeah,
just like a quick little snippet.
Right now, here it comes. Isn't that great? That's great. That's the best part. That is the best part about this game. I love that song. It's
just like a really good vibe
jazz,
for this
electro
game.
Swing. I don't even like electro swing, but it kind of feels like that a bit. But I love how like the buildings are dancing to it, and I don't know. The style in this game is great.
Yeah, it's really good for what it is. Definitely. I think that Behemoth has such a distinctive thing when it comes to their games like that. Also, there was a multiplayer mode that we did it, but it was very difficult because anyone who's playing online, like we could go in and be a co-op team fighting another co-op team. And yeah, I think we did it one time and it was like incredibly difficult and we're like, never mind.
But I think we came close, but then we got.
Did we? I really don't. We just tried it once just to check it out.
And then we tried it again because I like the idea of like bring your teams, let's put them together. Like, let's see, almost like a football game. Like, put the teams together, here we go.
Right.
But it didn't work the second time. Like, nobody was playing, I guess. I don't know.
So your favorite unit, you'd say, was the Troll Mama.
Big time.
I think my favorite was definitely the Cupcake. And their names would be, like, Gluten.
Yeah.
Or was...
I wonder if the names are randomly... is this all randomly generated?
Yeah, it'd be funny, because they all the units had names. Even the ones in the wild that you were fighting, and then you captured. Every enemy had a name. So you capture them, and they would be, like... really, really random. I wish I could remember. Yeah.
Or like...
or Toast King. You know, just like
Yeah,
weird stuff.
but good.
No,
Good
it was
weird.
good stuff. Like, I'm glad they were all named. I liked that.
Yeah, because it ended up being like, dude, MVP for me is always Gluten the Cupcake.
Yeah.
You mentioned it earlier, but I just want to go hark back on it. The on-screen display of information is awful. Not just health. You specifically mentioned the health of who's
Yeah.
dying, but also you can get stunned in this game. You can get poisoned, I think. Like there's status ailments that affect you, and it is very hard to tell what you have. Like
And who has it?
who has it? Yeah, like you cycle through units with the triggers, and down on the bottom, it's just kind of the portrait changes to show you who you're targeting. And I don't know, they needed something like maybe the portraits are much bigger and up on the left. And
Yeah.
if they are poisoned, the portrait is purple.
And the
you know?
portrait should have, and the health there too.
Right.
Like you could cycle through them and look, but you got that quicker than I did. Now I just was always like, I have no idea.
But even if you cycle through, I don't think you see. Even when they're dead, the portraits are so small, so tiny down in the corner. Even when they're dead, there'd be times where I'd be playing, be like, "Yo, what the hell happened to Gluten?"
Oh yeah, me too.
Oh, Gluten died.
I wouldn't realize like my dude was dead until like a minute or two. I'm like, oh, they're dead.
Because we're doing the thing where the turn is the same, so I'm just holding Y to
Right.
skip, like go, just attack. We're in a fucking cluster, so just attack. And then I realized like, wait, I only have 2 guys left. You know, that sucks.
Another thing I liked was the voice actor, whoever did the bear, the narrator.
Yes,
I don't want to do an impression because I can't do him justice, but he has an
Yeah.
amazing voice. I think he's done other stuff in Behemoth
that's
games.
that's like the aesthetic, that
Right,
guy's voice
yeah.
of like what I picture. I played a little alien hominid, not a ton. They had a level creator that was fun.
Yeah.
I think this is an awesome first game. I really would love if they would do Pit People 2 and make these
Yeah, I would play a Pit
very
People too.
big changes that need to happen, but make them.
Yeah,
like,
gameplay changes.
Sometimes, like XCOM to XCOM Enemy Unknown or whatever the second XCOM is, it doesn't look like. I haven't played the second one, but it's the same thing, just more. You know what I mean? That's fine for some franchises, but I think for this, there's a great base. There's a great base layer to this game. Just needs some pretty major tweaks,
Yeah.
but don't lose the heart and soul.
I don't think they would. I mean, I feel like that's like their thing.
Right.
You know? That's how they sell their games.
I think you could make an awesome game out of this, which
So far, I think it was pretty. When we beat it. We went through it all, which is, we won't for a lot of games. If anything,
I
what score would you give it?
like a 3.003 or something. Like
I want to give it a 3.7.
that seems high.
But I had fun. Like from what I remember, I mean, like we gave this game also space. It's been a couple months since we finished it. So
Maybe
from what I remember,
yeah.
I had like good. It was fun. Like I was remembering the characters and the story and all that stuff.
I feel like my brain is dancing to the song. Like
Right
that's
now,
how
it has been ever since you mentioned it.
that's how I remember this game, and that's not a bad. That's an awesome thing.
Right.
That's cool. It's one of those things where I'll be like, I don't really suggest you go play it.
Yeah, but
maybe.
I wish I had wanted to go play all the side quests. That's my, because I enjoyed so much about it, but it just, the battle, like we said, all the things that held it back where it was too much for me to keep going after the story.
Right, and
So
I don't know. Also, the story. What do you think of the story?
I thought it was fine. It was good.
Yeah, it
I
was
enjoyed
funny.
it. Like it made me want to keep going. Jerkomedes, that guy was great.
That's what it was. Jerkomedes. That was the name.
that was one of the main
Blueberry.
antagonists.
His little baby boy was Blueberry, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he had a name.
The
names were funny.
Yeah.
It was good. He was a blueberry farmer. I don't think his son's name was Blueberry.
what was his son's name?
I don't remember.
Little Danny.
Yeah, something stupid.
Snacks. Give me your snack suggestions.
Blueberries.
Perfect.
Blueberry muffins, because I like muffins.
How about
Blueberry scone. Is that a thing?
there's those crackers that are hexadecimal. Those.
I don't know what crackers those are.
Just any cracker that's 6-sided, really.
Okay.
Oyster crackers are sort of hexadecimal, right? Is that the
think
right
so.
word? Hexadecimal? That's not. Hexagonal.
No. Yeah.
That's what I'm looking
Hexadecimal is
for.
a math term.
Yeah, that's numbers and letters. But yeah, the 6-sided shape.
Yeah.
Crackers that are 6-sided shapes, blueberries, and then you build a board with your crackers. You put the blueberries on them. There's your units.
Yeah, you
Move 'em around
play.
the
Forget pit
crackers.
people. Just play with your food.
And play the music. Go to YouTube. Find Cormac. Find Patrick Catani. Play his music. Play your own version of this in your head.
There you go. That's
Let
what you
your
should
brain
do.
dance around. Like I'm picturing like my skull is opening
Ew.
like the top of my skull, like a perfect circle, is just like lifting off,
I
and
know,
my
but
brain's
it's
popping out.
I don't like it.
And like I'm just dun, 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 and like I'm
It's
happy and
disturbing.
smiley. I love it.
All right, you want to do some armchair co-op?
Yes,
To wrap
let's
this up?
grab that cup over there.
Here we go.
Okay, so this is armchair. This is Care Bear chair design. This is armchair co-op game design, where we pick a game out of a cup and we add a co-op mode to it. Generally, we try to go above and beyond and not just be like, oh, you make it 2-player.
Right. So now we got Mirror's Edge.
Mirror's Edge. The second one, I believe, is multiplayer.
Is it?
I think so.
Never played. Never played either one.
The second one sucks.
Oh, really? Why?
It's open world, but the world is badly designed.
Listen, we're not here to talk about why this game sucks.
You're right, so let's fix it by
Okay.
putting co-op into it. Easiest thing would be like,
Races.
well, that's already in there. That was in the first one also, time trials.
Maybe. But co-op?
Easiest co-op would be you can like grab each other and help each other up higher stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I
I
feel
gotta
like
get
there's a game out there kind of like that, right? No?
name it because I'll play it.
I'm trying to. Well, I mean, Yarny was kind of like that in some ways. You had to help your dude get up higher.
Right.
So, in the vein of Unravel 2, it'd be kind of like, adding another person to make platforming different.
Maybe like somehow the rope mechanic of Yarny almost, where like
Your arms are attached, and
I don't know
you're
if you're-
Siamese twins, but it's just like one really long arm.
gross. No, maybe you just both have grappling hooks that like magnetize together. It doesn't have to be super real. It's the future.
Oh yeah.
So like you can grapple hook together with your magnet tipped ropes,
That's a
and they
good
like
idea.
meet, and then you can swing each other.
Yeah.
Let's see. I guess it would just be that, but like maybe bosses that are like, because the fighting in the first one you could shoot guns. In the second one they completely took the guns out. I think it'd be cool if you did like one person kneels behind the bad guy and the other person runs up and pushes the bad guy over.
Okay, like kind of like God of War.
Yeah.
With the kid, but the kid is another player.
Right. Like how about I have to parkour on top of this big mech and start punching the pilot while you distract it.
Right. Right.
Stuff like that. Like it's shooting at you in the middle of the mall and you're running around jumping over kiosks.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get to the top of the mall and jump down onto the roof.
That reminds me of Persona 5. I just got like flashbacks. Remember that battle where you have to like
Oh, yeah, you have to
distract them so he can sneak up and then get on his back.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was a cool thing.
Do lots of JRPGs do stuff like that? Because that was a very cool
That was pretty unique.
introduction
Yeah.
of a thing.
I mean, Persona battles are always just like frustrating in a lot of ways. I'm always scared of them, but it was cool. A cool thing. Anyway, so yeah, I mean that's what I would do with Mirror's Edge. I feel like that's a pretty simple one.
Mm-hmm.
But
Is
it
there
would be
anything
fun to
go-
do.
Maybe like a commander mode where you can see the map of the city and you try to give directions like go left.
I like that.
Like this building coming up is.
Sort of like keep talking or the bomb explodes, which by the way we really want to get for Switch.
I would like to do an episode on that. I think because it's playing games together.
But something like where the character, the other person can't see the map, but maybe you have a printable map or something. I don't know, or just on like the Wii. Remember the Wii U used to have.
You know the Switch exists, right?
Yeah, but remember the Nintendo Land?
Yeah, Nintendo
game?
Land. Yeah,
Yeah, good times.
something like
man.
that where you
Right.
could like have security cameras that you can switch between and see.
Yes, that would be fun. Like
you're
the
the
touch
hacker.
screen.
Because in the game, there's people back home at your base talking to you on radio,
yeah,
so you could
right.
be that guy who's like I'm jacking in.
That's
like,
a unique idea. I like
Yeah.
that. All right, well, I think it's been a good ep.
that's the episode. Take us home. Do the pitches.
All right, so don't forget we are on Twitter at Saves Together. We do all our updates there, post pictures and all that. We also have an Instagram, which is Saves Together, and we do like put our little video promos on there. Also pictures of new games we got and lots of interacting. We also have a Facebook page, which is also Saves Together. Basically everything is Saves Together. The only thing that's not is our YouTube URL.
So we
you can
need you
find that on Twitter.
To subscribe to us, tell your friends.
Right.
Smash that like button. Is that still a thing you can like? Do you still
can
say?
still smash a like button.
Do you
That's
still
right.
say slap that bell if you want notifications?
I don't know if the bell comes into play anymore.
I think it does because at the end of the at the end of the Sea of Thieves one, they always
They say slap that bell?
Nope, they say
Ring the
and
bell.
hit that ship's bell to get your
And we're also trying to upload more Let's Plays. I started the Secret of Mana series. We started this a while ago recording. So we're slowly uploading things. We only have one episode up there now, but I'm hoping to put up more. So you should go subscribe because there'll be more video content there. We also put like a video version of our podcast with like a nice little graphic if you prefer to listen on YouTube, because I know some people like to do it that way. So, yep, that's our social media. So go hit us up.
And with that, we're out of here.
Bye.